make it cry. Hi, my name is Anna.
I'm Peyton.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with our next episode of our series, Who Are the Boys? And today we will be reacting to a few of their B-side tracks. And thank you to those of you who recommended these because we were not sure how we were going to choose them. And so it turns out that we will be reacting to Walkin' in Time from their first debut album and Salty from their most recent reveal comeback.
Alright, ready?
Yes!
To all my loved ones. Oh no.
Is it gonna be angsty?
My thoughts are running.
Oh, there's captions.
Yeah, there are.
He looks like a baby.
But time seems to be walking. Round and round in my spins.
He looks like Elle. Sorry.
The clock ticking sounds in the background. Oh no. This is random, but his blink matching up in time with the beat was really satisfying. Oh.
Oh, they're like together now. They're not alone anymore.
This makes me think of Troye Sivan.
I wonder I like it.
Yeah, even just like the music video too.
Yeah.
He's still so precious.
Sonu looks like a baby.
Oh. He's so baby.
So hard. Oh.
That made me so anxious, the vein cutting.
Yeah. Still. I would never let them cut my hair. I'm restraining myself from making my awkward comments when I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, Peyton doesn't like silence.
시간으로 다 나친다 해도 추억으로 다 남아진다 해도.
That last line gave me goosebumps.
A heart of hope.
Yeah. That hit right in the feels. Like, it's definitely meant to touch your, like, pull on your heartstrings, which is why they have the nostalgic scenes, and then when they have the flashback memories, they're a little bit faded, and they've got the words written over it. I don't have a lot to say, there's no dance for it, but it is really interesting to me that they did this as a special clip for their debut album, because the style of the music video where it's like they're remembering back on past moments of themselves, since it is moments of themselves, it's not like moments of a relationship or something. It kind of reminded me of Winner's song right before the oldest two members went to the military, and how they like were looking back on their past together, but that was years into the career, like into their career. So it's just kind of interesting to me that this was like a debut clip that they did. But then I was thinking about like, oh, because it's talking about like walking in time and like the heart of hope, and maybe it's like we like went through all of these struggles as trainees together, and now we like are walking through time together. Or I was thinking about maybe since it starts out with "to my loved ones," if it's like for their families and like friends, they gave up these memories and like these opportunities to make memories with to pursue this dream, and they're like kind of looking back on that. So I don't know. I mean, I really liked it. This definitely had me in my feels. Anna mentioned in the reaction, it's like a Troye Sivan song, and we were talking about it during our break, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna go on my playlist that's literally titled Sentimental with a Splash of Melancholy, which is like one of my most played playlists because I, like I've said before, apparently really like angsty music, but that playlist is like Troye Sivan, Lauv, and other songs like this, so I really liked it. I'm really glad this was recommended. So yeah, Anna's turn.
I feel like I need to say that I really like the song because like in the second half of watching the music video, I just went completely silent. It's because it put me in my feels and like I was in my sad boy hours. And I know we've talked about like my music taste on this channel before, and this doesn't really fit into that, but I have an extra genre that is when I am in my sad boy hours feels, and that is this. And also like Troye Sivan and Lauv and all that. Musically, there wasn't anything super interesting or different about it, but the thing is like that's how it should be for a song like this, because you don't have like a flashy instrumental, because then it like takes away from the lyrics and like the emotions that are being conveyed. Literally all you hear is like piano chords, kick drum, snare, that's about it. And the voices, and the way that they're singing too is just really like sentimental. Like they switched into mixed or falsetto a lot because it's more sentimental. And like the thing that made me think that it was like a Troye Sivan song, not saying that like he has ownership over this genre and style at all, like no, it's just like that's the one that I can compare it to most easily since I listen to his music, is like how it starts off very simple with like just the voices and chords, and then when it's getting ready to go into like the chorus or like the second verse, then you like hear like a do-do-do and then percussion comes in and there's more layers. During our break too, we were saying that this song hits a little bit differently for us, probably compared to like the BOYZ fans who heard it when it first came out, since Juan left. Like you can interpret it a different way. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, we liked the song.
Okay, so now we're doing the complete 180 and we're going forward to the future because this is from their most recent comeback and it is their song Salty. We're also watching the live stage version from their M Countdown performance, which we don't do a lot on this channel because usually there's a dance practice or a music video or like a special clip available, just because it's a lot harder for Anna to hear the song, so she'll probably have to listen to it separately after we react. But we're gonna react to this version because it was the most viewed version available.
Does it mean salty like how, like, English definition slang salty?
I don't know, we'll have to look at the lyrics. That'd be funny though.
Okay, maybe it's not a complete 180 because this is still kind of sad boy hours.
I assumed it would be more of a 180.
I know.
Probably because of the word salty. His beret is so cute.
There's a lot of background vocals, it's really nice. It feels like you're floating. Oh.
so cute.
Oh, but they said a little sweet and salty, like tanchan tanchan.
Yeah.
Jacob. Peyton, you good?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't do that. Come on out there.
Oh, okay.
We're both gonna have to listen to it separately because the stage version's also only like a minute, like 2 minutes or something.
Ah.
I really like this vibe though.
Aw.
Oh, Tiny's so cute.
Yeah, it's hard for me to make comments right now because it sounds a little muffled. Wow, it just stayed on his face for a really long time.
The dance itself is very playful. That makes a lot of sense because the song itself is playful. The lyrics are playful, it's like kind of bouncy and bright, and also it's a B-side track that they're trying to contrast with Reveal, which is what they were promoting at the time. So usually when they do these like secondary songs for their comeback stages or something, they do a completely opposite vibe of whatever the song is they're promoting, and this is obviously very different from Reveal. But a really good example of that playfulness is in the part of the dance where they do like a dance circle and everyone's having a good time, and Sanu goes, and then Changmin goes, Q goes, they're all like hyping them up, and then Jacob goes and he does like he's doing like the Charleston or something, and they all just kind of stop and walk away, and I was like, oh. But it's just like really fun and really playful, and they can let their personality show through that. Choreography wise, it's not the most difficult thing I've ever seen them do. But again, that makes sense to me because it is a B-side. They're not even doing the whole song for the stage, like it's just part of the song. And their focus for promotions is on their title track, and so they don't spend as much time on this choreography or on practicing it because they're not performing it as much. It might not be the most difficult choreography, but they use a couple of tricks to make it more intricate, and so one of those tricks is they use a lot of cannons and a lot of group work. And that's not to say that people don't use cannons and group work in more complicated choreographies, because they obviously do, but it's a really simple way to make simpler movements seem more intricate and keep kind of like the audience entertained because it keeps your eyes moving around the stage. The very beginning of the song starts with a large group off to the right side of the stage, and then Younghoon and Jiyeon doing duet work. And so already, like, even when they're doing the same hand movements, it makes it more interesting because the large group goes down to their knee, and then Jiyeon and Younghoon are doing it while they're standing. And then like Q and Nu are singing kind of back and forth, and they're each in a different group, they're doing different choreographies. And it's a good example of making it a little bit more intricate through group work, because literally like while Q is singing, Nu's group is just walking forward. Like they're not doing anything exciting, but you're entertained because Q's group is dancing. Wow, it's really hard to use their stage names. But like I liked it. It made me smile. Like I'm still smiling. Anna's turn.
Musical comments. Yeah, the beginning of the song was really different. It felt like it would be Sad Boy Hours again. But then it switched it up really soon after that, so like I wasn't as concerned, and it became really like house. Like I mentioned when we were watching the performance that, oh, they say sweet and salty like in the same line. So it's like salty moments and like the sweetness of this relationship or whatever. And I thought that was really interesting. Because once again, perhaps Anna is reading way too much into this. But like the music itself too, for the most part, is really smooth. Even the way that they're singing reflects that. It's like really breathy, and like basically everyone is singing the way that Kevin Moon usually sings.
Yeah.
And Kevin usually sings really like smooth, kind of R&B-y, and there's like a lot of runs, a lot of vocal riffs, especially at the end. You just hear like all the ohs and like salty and towards like the last chorus. But even before that, there are like lines in the song where at the end of the line, instead of just the person singing it themselves, there's like background vocals doubling it, and it's like really noticeable too. It was very interesting because it's like, oh, those are like the sweet moments, but then like there's like one small salty moment, I would call it. I think it's the second pre-chorus. It gets brighter, and like the tone of the song like visibly changes. The instruments that they decide to use make it feel brighter, and also the way that his voice has adjusted like the way that he's pronouncing his vowels, enunciating words, makes it feel brighter too. Because in the rest of the song, things are said like a little rounder, breathier, like more open-ended. Like when they sing like I'm sorry, they're like I'm sorry, like re instead of re. But then in the part that I'm talking about that's brighter, they do like the line is 좀 더 멀리 우리, and the e's that they do, if they were matching the rest of the song, would be like 멀리 우리, but instead they say 멀리 우리. So it's very like piercing and like bright. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is the part that's different from the rest of the song. This is the salty and the sweetness. The last thing that I really had to say was, when I thought of this comment, I was like, Kevin Moon would be proud of me, because the bridge sounds like a Beyonce song, is my initial thought. And then I sung it to Peyton and she was like, no, it's Destiny's Child. And I was like, you're right, it's Destiny's Child. It sounds like Say My Name. Oh, it's 모든 걸 아낀 채. And then in Say My Name, it's like da-da-da. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Yeah. If for some reason Kevin Moon is watching this, I hope you're happy with that comment. So that's the end of my comments.
TLDR, for the whole video, Walking in Time was very much in the feels and we both appreciated it, but this was more playful and kind of had some surprising moments, and we also really liked that. The B-sides were fun to watch and listen to because they're different than the title tracks. They're very much different vibes.
That being said, if you liked this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye-bye. Kevin Moon, I'm talking to you.